Hey guys, what is up? Zane here, and welcome to another video. And in today's video, I want to get into Cold War, and I want to be straight up with Cold War. It is absolute dog water, and I mean that for the zombies and the MP. For the MP, there's just no maps. Like, I don't know what it is about Cold War, but there's just simply no maps as of right now. There's only like 12 maps, like if even. Maybe even a little bit more, maybe, I don't know. When it comes to MP, but that's not what I want to talk about MP, because you know, like, I feel like if I play MP, it's just not something I can grind, and that's just sucks. And I really do like to grind MP, because in BO4 I was able to grind the multiplayer, but in Cold War I just simply can't, and it's just because there's just no maps. There's just no like really good maps right now. And if they, honestly, if they were to port over BO4 maps into Cold War, that would be amazing. Because then I would be playing it for hours, because BO4 had some really good multiplayer maps. Anyways, I want to get into the zombies, and I want to say to why the zombies is absolutely terrible. And the reason is simply just because of, like, high rounds. And I've like doing high rounds in every COD except for Cold War and BO4. BO4 for obvious reasons, because BO4 has the same issue. And here's the problem with BO4, and I will get into that, and then I'll get into Cold War, because these two are like two peas in a pod. They are the exact same. So for BO4, if you play the game and you pause, yeah, if you pause the game, it will lag you out for some reason. I don't know why that is. But in BO4 that does happen. In Cold War it doesn't happen. However, there is something else that happens in Cold War, is if you like play for a certain amount of time, it'll just crash your game. And that is like super annoying, because I was playing for like 5 hours and I was going for around 256, but unfortunately it did crash. But even so, when I was going for that round, 256, the worst thing happened in my game, and I crashed on 234. So it just sucked. It really did suck when I was trying to get that round. But the reason is to why it sucks is because I was only playing for 5 hours and 30 minutes. And if you guys know, or maybe not know, every round 100 in the previous CODs takes up to 6 hours or more. And with those CODs, it doesn't lag out at all. It literally doesn't lag out. I think for Knocked, it would lag out, but that's just because of certain issues with Knocked and just some of the servers, and just because of like the connection. If you have a better connection, then it's just not going to lag you out from the servers. That's just how it is. If you're wired, then you're not going to lag out for BO3. But that's not what I'm talking about, because you can still fix that, as I said, if you have a wired connection and whatnot. But when it does come to zombies in general, if it takes 5 hours and 30 minutes and you crash on D Machine, and you go from BO1, BO2, BO3, and even World at War, I'm sorry I didn't say it in the right order, but if you go from those CODs, when you meet the 6 hour margin. So I don't know what's wrong with Cold War in that aspect. That really does need to be fixed. And the thing is, even though I'm dogging on Cold War right now, this is something that needs to be fixed. Every other COD, you could play for 6 hours or more and it wouldn't crash or anything like that. If you do this on the other CODs, you will not crash. Like, you could legit get round 100 on Call of the Dead co-op on BO1 before you're able to get round 256 solo on Cold War. So, yeah, that's just because of how unstable the game is. And the thing is, Cold War is newer. It's not an older game. The Cold War that's out now should be not having as much issues as the older CODs, because it's newer, you know? It's like, it just doesn't make sense. It's like, what? But when it does come to zombies, as of right now, the zombies is absolute garbage. And it's simply just because of that reason. That was the reason that strayed me away from BO4, is because it's not stable. And Cold War has the same problem, so that is all I really need to say. I don't really think there's any points that I need to go over for zombies. I don't need to go over the super sprinters, because that has nothing to do with it. The only real problem with Cold War right now is just how stable it is. And to finish off this video, to further prove my point to how unstable it is, I will show you this crash I got. Anyways, see you guys in the next one, and as usual, have yourselves a damn good one. Peace out.